And hello, it's time for episode 2 of me playing Kerbal Space Program because I like Kerbal Space Program and people like to watch people play Kerbal Space Program. And alright, see, now we've got our science instruments now, and I think I am going to go for the, I'm going to go for survivability first because, like, because I think I might be able to get into space using just these parts, and if, I don't have a heat shield when I'm up there, I'm kind of SOL. And also, this is the cheapest one. Yay, frugal. And so yeah, now we're gonna go for that escaping the atmosphere contract. And let's see here, can we Mark 16 parachute? I might want to go for that. Oh no, but this guy, I can just snag him and just, slap a extra decoupler on the bottom of my rocket. So yeah, now we're gonna build the R1. Just gonna move that over there. Alright, so yeah. And this time we're gonna remember to remove all the monoprop, because A, we want this to be the lightest part of the rocket, so it'll naturally want to be on top. And B, it's mass that we can't use. It's wasteful. Yeah. And alright, so we're gonna we need a lot of science for this, because we can get it. Don't know if you guys could hear that. That was just a child screaming outside. I'm sure it's nothing. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna slap one of these on the bottom of the rocket for the report at the launch pad. Get one for high. I'll bring two with me. One for. Two should be plenty. I don't know. Ooh. Is that a test part? No, I have that. I was just worried that I didn't have more than one. So yeah, like those test parts, you can actually kind of game the system a little bit by, just if, like, let's say you don't have fairings yet, and you have a contract that'll say, hey, haul a fairing into orbit, like, it does mean that you can't use it as efficiently as you would want to, like, jettison the fairing at about 30,000 meters or something. But, on the other hand, you do get to use, like, generally making an unaerodynamic craft, and even having a fairing that you haul all the way up into orbit is more efficient than, trying to build something that's perfectly aerodynamic, and also generally leads to having really tall, like, just ungainly rockets. Yeah, and I think, do we want to put a flight computer on this one? I think I'll chunk a flight computer in there. Why not? Yeah, this doesn't help me fly. It'll just give me the engineering data while I'm flying. Because, like, they'd have that if this were a real rocket, just in the command pod. Come on. Come to daddy. Alright. So we're gonna have a problem. That's how it's gonna be. Good. Alright, so now we're just gonna unlock this little crappy fuel tank here. And now we're just gonna see if we want to use a liquid-fueled design or a solid-fueled design. Because this Reliant, like, it's pretty good, actually. Like, people really don't give it enough credit. But it's also, it won't help us steer, which is going to be our biggest problem in the early game. Yeah, so that's 2,000 meters per second of delta V, and that's, pretty good. And we've also got, a lot more thrust that we can get out of this guy. So this might actually be able to go into space once we're done. 27. See, now we're getting to diminishing returns because, it'll, like, you gotta haul this extra fuel up, so I think, what's parts? 24, so this will put us up to 28 parts. Actually, we're gonna need to ditch a few of these because we still need to test the you know, decoupler at the launch pad. Ooh, and we want to get science from the launch pad. So yeah, and we do want fins because 4 of them. All right, so right now we're maxed out on parts, so I need to ditch 2 of these tanks. And that'll be enough to, yeah, see, we got 2,700 meters per second of delta V. That's plenty to, you know, just get into low suborbit. I do got to be careful about, accidentally having too sharp in orbit, like too steep, because then I'll come down and I won't have enough time, or, you know, ooh, dang. Yeah, I'm gonna need to ditch just 2 more of these so that I can throw some more parachutes on here. 2,400 is still plenty to make it into suborbit. Yeah, I swear if I die because, you know, my orbit was too steep, I will be unhappy. I'll also be unhappy if it turns out that I didn't actually have to, you know, jettison it. Though normally, stage. Alright, so yeah, I do need to stage it. Alright, so got our first real proper rocket. Like that other one, like, you know, like it was basically a Q motor. If you're, you know, if you ever looked at model rocketry, you know, like, I mean, if you, like, you know, most people who've dabbled in it know about, like, the, you know, A, B, C, D, E motors. Like, you know, those are pretty standard. And did we blow up? I think we blew up the Science Junior. Oh, well. So we're just gonna turn over just a little bit now, because I have a limited amount of control over this guy. See, right now we're essentially just gonna try to just ride her up real slow. Gotta push over pretty hard right now just to get my gravity turn going. Because essentially, if I'm not facing, you know, down there at 45 degrees by the time I'm at 10 kilometers, then, you know, things start to become bad. And I don't want things to become bad. I'm keeping my thrust low so that my rocket will naturally want to kind of fall over. Like, the more thrust I have, you know, the more resistance there will be on the fins, which will keep the rocket going straight. And, because, you know, the physics, and, ooh, almost forgot. I want to, geez, how many of these have, alright, so this guy still has fuel. I'm going to just stop it draining from that one, just to kind of keep our center of mass forward. So now I've got to heel over to the right a little bit. So we're going to just do a gentle roll, Yeah, and, alright. Yeah, this is an alright launch. We might actually, Apoapsis height is only, I don't think we're going to get into space today, because we might have actually gone a little bit too shallow. Yeah. Went a little too shallow, but hey, that's okay. We made it into, you know, and I'm debating whether we want to, well, you know, we made it into high atmosphere. That's really, that'll get us plenty of science. I should have done a crew report when the engines were still on, and I've really got to work on that, because, there we go. Now we're just going to jettison that. And just open this, observe the goo real quick. Very cold. Well, you know. Oh, so now it's cold? I see how it is. This goo's a bitch. Alright, let's just look at our orbit. Yeah, and that's not too bad. Our parachute should be able to stop us. Now, see, that's why I put so many of these on there, because we're not going to be able to actually deploy these until pretty late, so what I'm going to do, this guy, he's going to deploy high, and I'm going to do it once it says risky. Because, really, even if this central parachute gets destroyed, these ones will definitely be able to... It'll slow us down enough that it'll be safe to deploy these other guys. Yeah, so now it's just waiting. So we'll just, accelerate real quick. And, man, this episode's almost 10 minutes. Let's just turn on fine... Oh, you know what? We're gonna... Oh, crap. So, yeah, now we don't have our heat shield facing the right way. I'm just gonna try to rock it just to maybe see if I can kinda... I mean, we're not gonna burn up, because generally, like, this... We're going too slow to burn up. Like, we're going, yeah, barely over Mach 2. We're fine. What I'm worried about is that now, since we're more aerodynamic, like, I'll just give us, the best chance we've got. Just torque us in two directions and turn off that fine control mode crap. Alright. Unsafe, unsafe. I should not have... See, this is why you don't time accelerate. And, alright, I think we're gonna be fine. Alright, yeah. Come on. And that'll pull us over. And alright, and we're gonna wait to deploy these, because otherwise we're gonna be waiting here forever to fall down. And I think flying is gonna get us a little bit more than the water, but if not, we're gonna end up in the water at some point. Like 100% guaranteed we will. So that does mean that let's think. Do you think a goo canister while flying or in the water is worth more? Whatever. Just try to get whatever science we can. Just so we can build a better rocket next time. Because next I think what we're going to go for is getting that LVT-45 so we can actually steer. And also we'll have bigger tanks so that we can, build a rocket with less parts. Yeah, these early game restrictions, man, they are restrictive. I almost want to cut this parachute and, drop for a little bit, but that's just, that's being a little bit too risky, even for my taste. Yeah, and Jeb is, having a good old time. He can't EVA, so he's just trapped in there. But, he's got his mystery goo. He's got 3 parachutes strapped to his capsule. And he's got, quite a nice crumple zone underneath him. Later in the game, once he can EVA, it'll actually be... He won't have that. And we're going to deploy the other 2 chutes. That'll bring us down to just 4 meters per second. And we're just going to time accelerate a little bit. And my phone's going to fall and we're going to land. So that is just fine. We're going to recover the vessel again. And we are going to get not 50 science, not too bad. So we're up to 72. So now this one here, because we get the thumper and the swivel, that's a given. Now I'm kind of wondering, do we want to go for yeah, I'm sorry, I don't want any of this crap. Having a a steering winglet and a reaction wheel. Ooh, or I could go for batteries. You know what, I think this guy is going to be our best bet, because then we can actually reliably use a solid rocket booster. Alright, so what now? Active, escape, oh, so we still got to do that. Swivel, splash down at Kerbin, flee at the launch site. Landed at Kerbin. Ooh. Test a hammer in a suborbital trajectory over Kerbin. Alright, well, I think I'm going to cut it off at that for this episode. And next episode, we're shooting for suborbit. See you guys in a bit.